Oh, hey, everybody. Rudy just chimed in and gave his nickels worth with the usual jabs at my Spartan conditions of life here. But no matter, I listened to his what he had to say. And in my opinion, this is just my opinion. And who knows, I may play disc golf with Rudy one day, one fine day. I might toss around a disc with him or two. Um, and I see him as a caring man. I do. It's the truth. Hang on a second, please. But at the same time, um, there will be people that can never grasp an idea. For example, I'm going to give you a perfect example of this. Some of you will know what I'm telling you. But there's an old thing, and I had a friend who was a hard leftist named Ronnie. And we were friends all throughout our childhood and up into somewhat middle age, not quite, till about 32, 30, something about like that. And then he started to go off with the left business. And he was a self-made man. He certainly wasn't given a whole hell of a lot. He had a bar mitzvah, but I can't say much about that because were I to have been given money, I would have squandered it. But he had a kind of a natural tendency. He used to watch the American Top 40s, listen to it every week. He collected records, and he was a lucky one because he went on to do something that he loved from childhood, which was DJing, and was able to become financially independent with it. So God bless him. But he could not understand this, and maybe 30% of my subs will not understand this, and what I'm telling you is gospel. And you have to believe in me as a God in order to understand this, because you're not capable of understanding this, much like Rudy doesn't understand how he had such a good time on lockdown. He was able to spend quality time with his family, and he never had it so good with the delivered food. And this is all part of the craved, demanded sodomy. And what can I tell you? But let me give you an idea. And if you can't understand this, then you can't worship me as a God, and you can't understand complex. My mom used to do it too. My mom used to have those pictures that you look at it one way and it's a guy smiling, and then you look at it another way and it's a boat with a battle. Those kind of pictures, you know what I'm talking about. Some people can't see them. They use that on forensic tests, with murderers and things like that. And some people just cannot see it, and it's there. They cannot see it. Now, let me explain to you this, because Rudy's going to hate this one. Because Rudy's on my side on this one. He knows. Geez, I look like the stripe is going up and down my face. Okay. How do you make 55 cents in coins, in American coins? Newer style American coins, not something like 3-cent pieces or whatever. Modern coinage. How do you get 55 cents? And one of them can't be a nickel. Do you know what the answer is? The answer is a 50-cent piece, a Kennedy silver $50 or Kennedy $50, and a nickel. And that's, as a God, I'm telling you right. That is the answer, and it's legitimate. But in order for that to be, you have to worship me as a God. You have to understand that you're not going to be able to understand it, but you have to believe in me, and then you will believe, because you know that I'm telling you right. And my friend Ronnie said that was impossible because you said one of them isn't going to be a nickel. You know what the truth is? That's true. But you can't make people understand this, much like you will never get people like Rudy to understand the culling, the mass culling of dogs and cats in China. Culling on a scale you've not seen. The barbarity, the despotism that went along with this was just ridiculous. The stupid, idiotic things that they would put up about some guy submitting a thing where he draws all the doctors and makes this whole montage. That's all government set up in order to be able to justify what you're going through. I had that for years on my channel. And that, of course, is part of a government perpetrated thing to make you understand that you're suffering for something and that we're all pulling together for the cause. And he puts this whole thing with the doctors as heroes and this bizarre little eye, all-seeing eye in the center. I don't know what the hell that was. Was that the COVID-19 eye? I don't know what it was. It was so bizarre. Anyone from my other channel may remember. It was on my shorts. Not these shorts, but on my short videos. I'll try to find it for you by the end of this video. But those are the kind of indoctrination. It's like if somebody was sliding their member into your anus and you didn't like it at first, but through some cajoling, they told you that this was a most wonderful thing. There's no reason why you couldn't think that something very wonderful was being done to you, and you would crave and demand it and tell everybody how wonderful it was. That's what this is all about. Now let's get back to the $50 a nickel. It is too complex to get a person that is blind, mentally blind, because in some ways I am. I figured out also I cannot tell directions of something that's coming up on me. And I can't do it. Maybe I did before, I can't now. If something is coming up on me, I cannot, and I'm not the first one. When I was 18, I worked at a security company, and the boss that I had said that he was vowel blind, I think is the term he used. I'm kind of getting to understand that. Languages that use vowel sounds are very difficult for some people to learn. And he also said he could not figure out where a sound was coming from. So that I kind of get that too. Much like the cavemen said that they needed a special diet. You know, that was such a sad thing because it was such a slick advertising campaign with the Geico cavemen, and it absolutely flopped. During the years of Wii, was that the Wii, Nintendo Wii game with the tennis and this and that and ping pong and all of that. And it was such an incredibly good, masterful commercial, but it did not translate well into a series because it was strong for a second or two for its value. But once it went beyond that, it just lost everything it had. I tried to like that show. I tried. I thought those commercials were outstanding. Those are some of the best commercials ever aired, ever, anywhere. So you're just not going to be able to see this. Now let's give you the correct answer. The way you make 55 cents, and one of them can't be a nickel, is a Kennedy $50 and a nickel. And a lot of you are saying you're defeating yourself. You already told us one of the coins can't be a nickel. And that's correct. You're right. One of them can't be a nickel. And That's something you will never be able to explain to people who are mentally incapable of the understanding of it. What is the answer? The answer is complex. The way you make 55 cents is a $0.50 and a nickel. And the truth is, one of them is a nickel, but it said one of them can't be a nickel. So what is the answer? They're not both $0.50. So yes, one of them can't be a nickel. Stand by. Sorry, folks, for the interruption. The correct answer, a $0.50 and a nickel. That's how you make 55 cents. And one of the coins can't be a nickel. There's two different ways to interpret that. And some people, just like I showed you, when you show them something that has two images, that they cannot see it. They can only see one of the image. That's how a lot of people are. It doesn't mean you have a low IQ. It means that you're not capable of understanding certain things. So it limits your IQ. The answer is, how do you make 55 cents with a $0.50 and a nickel? That's how you make it. One of them can't be a nickel. And that's true. You're not using two $0.50. You're not using two nickels. So one of them isn't a nickel. It's very, very complicated to try to understand this. You almost have to have a belief in me as a God. To break it down, it says, you make 55 cents and one cannot be a nickel. And that's true, because one of them is a nickel, but one of them is not a nickel. It's a $0.50. And people will just not understand. You can go out and try it yourself. And people will not understand this, and it is the truth. You make it without it, with 55 cents, two coins, one can't be a nickel. And it's true. You've got a silver $0.50. That's not a nickel. One can't be a nickel. And it's true. One isn't. One is a $0.50 and the other one is a nickel. And you'll never be able to understand that until you let go and you worship me and other people who know about this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask this of the computer and see what they say and see if Google can explain it to you, because I know what I speak of here. Let's take a look at it. How do you make 55 cents with two US coins and one of them can't be a nickel? How do you make 55 cents with two American coins and one of them can't be a nickel? To make 55 cents with two American coins where one of the item is not a nickel, you must use one 50-cent piece and one nickel. It says it right there. But again, when you think you're real smart and you're really not that smart, you can't understand this because it's fact. Right here, it says it again on Quora. I have two coins in my hand that total 55 cents. One isn't a nickel. What are the two coins? Again, with a simpleton IQ, without the ability to understand, you immediately say, yeah, but you said one of the coins wasn't a nickel. And there's two perspectives on that. One is, yes, you're looking at it and it looks like the coin shouldn't be there because one of them isn't a nickel. But it's true. One of them isn't a nickel. The $0.50 is not a nickel. So one of them is a nickel and the other one is not. Very difficult for people who have lower intelligence to be able to understand this. I can't find this, they won't explain the lesson to you. But I'll tell you what, let's go on YouTube and see if we can find it, okay? I'll also look for the Chinese scam. Hang on. Well, I found it. It took a while. You got to get montage and not drawing. This was a Chinese government psych op. That much, it's possible that it was organic, but it was very likely a Chinese government promoted psych op. I want you to watch this. I had this on my channel for a long time. And that little eye, I still don't know what that little eye is. To this day, what is it, an all-seeing eye? Unbelievable. Like I told you, it could have been. It could have been organic. Somebody being sodomized, their dogs ripped from them to be called. This is what Rudy doesn't understand. He doesn't understand any of these. He's not capable, just like 55 cents with 2 coins. Now, we're going to go on to YouTube and see if somebody can explain this. This is an oldie but goodie. Let's go on to YouTube. Is it YouTube? No, that's Google. Let me go on to YouTube. This was the first psych op that they used, the dying hero Chinese cop that gave his life, all that, which may be true, but used as a rally cry. It was just ridiculous, folks. Filipinos going out after midnight in order to be able to break the law, in order to grab scraps of food on the ground. It's unbelievable. It's just too stupid to talk about. It's when the cure is worse than the condition. Anyways, let's take a look at this. Let's see. Okay, I guess this is YouTube, is it? Okay, this is YouTube. And then we'll call this a day. Explain how to make 55 cents in coins and one can't be a nickel. Let's see if we can find this. Okay, here it is right here. Probably these are dimwits. They probably don't. A lot of you folks out there are dimwits. You still haven't decided to worship me as a god. And this is probably much the same. Let's see how many of these people can understand. Okay, here are 3 young men.
I heard quarters. Is it 2 quarters? Yeah. Is it a trick question?
Well, you gotta ask yourself how much is 2 quarters.
2 quarters is 50 cents. But it's like
50 cents. We said 2 to equal
55.
1 is
Not a nickel.
But 2 could be a nickel. I'm gonna give y'all a hint. One of y'all said it in the beginning of the video. One of y'all already said the answer in the beginning of the video. I'm gonna give y'all a hint.
Oh, damn. What we said? We said 50-cent coin. Alright. Can it be more than 55 cents?
Nah.
That's the total.
One of y'all said it already. Yeah, y'all gotta backtrack and see who said it.
Yeah,
one of y'all said it.
We did that TMO.
TMO. One of y'all gotta recollect all your answers.
25 cents. Like the one is not a nickel. I heard quarters. Is it 2 quarters? Yeah. Is it a trick question?
You gotta. I have 2 U.S. coins totaling 55 cents. One of them is not a nickel. Figure out what the coins are.
It's not a nickel. So is it just a $50 coin and a dime?
Final answer?
Yeah.
What is that $50 coin called?
I couldn't tell you. I wouldn't know that.
I'll let you research.
Okay.
Or 50-cent coins. So.
Embarrassing.
Oh, $half. Yeah.
All right, and that's your final answer.
Yes, sir.
Great. Okay, cool. Why did you choose that?
Well, because I know that a nickel is 10 cents. Wait. Yeah, a nickel is 10 cents, so it's got to be a dime, which is 5 cents and 50 cents. There's no other way. Nickel is.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Let's take a look at this young black woman.
Order in.
I am sorry. Sorry about that, folks.
Order in. Can't get too quiet, though. On your way, this is taking longer than I expected.
Cool.
And then you will find shoes that are the size that you
And I'm like, what the heck?
I wonder if any of them will get it on YouTube. Truly. I wonder if I can even find one where they will get it. This is hopeless. Okay, we can forget this. I'm sorry to say this, but all the kids, I don't care what color they are, it's just not happening. I mean, they don't even. A lot of them never even seen a $2 bill. They freak out. Let's see. Let's see if there's somebody that might be on the ball. I have 2 coins totaling 55 cents. Okay, here's more young lads. Looks like. Let's see if they can figure it out.
Moving a little bit. There we go. I have 2 U.S. coins totaling 55 cents. One is not a nickel. Figure out the coins. Figure out what the coins are. Yo, you want to join in? 5 cents. Yeah. You come in.
It's got 2 U.S. coins totaling 55 cents. One's not a nickel. So we got it's a $half, and he cut a dime in half.
You gotta give me 2 coins. What's the 2 coins?
Yes,
I always say, man, you just gotta go with your first instinct.
first instant. Hold on. Okay, it's a $half, and I don't know.
You need 1 more coin.
A 5-cent coin that's not a nickel. No idea. Yeah, nah. You gotta go on that one. You got nothing. I got it.
Yeah, just go with your first instinct. What was your first instinct?
Dime cut in half. It's gotta be
Just you gotta give me a coin. You gotta give me the coin.
So it's not a dime? A dime?
I'm reading again.
It's gotta be something cut in half. It's like,
I have
Remember
2
I told you
coins totaling
70
55
IQ?
cents. One is not a nickel. Figure out what the coins are.
oh, one is not a nickel. It's a yeah. It's a nickel and a $half. It's a $half, not a nickel. Okay.
He got it.
I got one more.
All right. Last one. They probably won't get it. It's all like young black women and young black men. I don't. Okay. This might explain it here, so this will be the last one, and we'll call
Here's
this
a
a
quick
wrap.
coin puzzle to test your logic. You have 2 U.S. coins that total 55 cents, and one of them is not a nickel. What are the 2 coins? Need a hint? Focus on the value of the coins and think about the tricky part of the question. Think you've figured it out? Share your answer in the comments and see if you've cracked this cunning coin conundrum.
So we'll take a look at some of it. There's no comments on here.
You have
So,
2
folks,
US coins
that is
total
going to wrap it up with the video. I hope you all are fine. Let's enjoy these last days on my channel as we will be going to Paul Pachula on YouTube. That will be my new channel that is there and existing right now, and pretty soon we will go to it. Take care. Nice to be with you, and feel free to worship me as a God. I make this sacrifice for you because most of these people are so goddamn dumb, they don't even carry a 70 IQ. I'm sorry to tell you. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.